You gotta check out the upcoming album Space City Boys. You don't want to miss out.
We'll be slaves. White bitch, you behave. Die. Jewish won't be saved. Die. I just read the page. Got my new Bible to see if you up. Business, we signing you up. We gon' get busy to see if you tough. To sending you rent out of luck. Got my new Bible to see if you up. Business, we signing you up. We gon' get busy to see if you tough. To sending you rent out of luck.
Spend on the block or no more eating. Reading the scripture like I'm even Steven. Praises to God, you better believe him. Mo, I love a ball from Paget or Legion. Go catch a football like my name is
TikTok. Flyest tassels in the community. Keep them laws.
PTE, Big G. PTE, Big G. And I'm the breeze.
Say call Allah, Abana Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh. That's all praise to the Heavenly Father through his Son name, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. We are Genesis. And as always, man, we gotta exalt the Most High God's name on every level. You know what I mean? Today we're gonna go into a breakdown on the Willie Lynch letter, basically proving that these bastards, they read the Bible and they knew who they was afflicting. And they knew exactly how to do it because all they did is follow the same things that the Greeks did, the Romans did, the Egyptians did. They followed it play by play. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? And we're going to prove that most are willing with scripture and with history and archaeology, right? So we're going to read the intro letter of the Willie Lynch letter, and we're going to just dive right into it. Most are willing, the edification comes out. Go ahead, King.
So this is the Willie Lynch letter, aka Making You the Slave. This is the annotated version, right? Published by Ocean Publishing in New York. All right. So I'm gonna read the foreword, right? Fiction or nonfiction. The Willie Lynch letter attributed to a Willie Lynch, who was perpetually a slave owner in the British West Indies.
He was what?
Perpetually a slave owner in the British West Indies.
Salaki.
Very good.
So yeah, so start that again out.
All right, bet. This is the foreword right here. Willie Lynch letter, fiction or nonfiction. The Willie Lynch letter attributed to a Willie Lynch, who was perpetually a slave owner in the British West Indies.
So this right here is going into who this guy was. He was a slave owner, and he was based off. He was down in the Caribbean, like Jamaica, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
British West Indies, right?
Real devil.
This is point one. According to legend, quote unquote legend, right? A group of slave owners in Virginia heard of Willie Lynch's master plan to keep slaves enslaved both physically and mentally.
But this the key word in that is that they got together. Where do you see that in the Bible? Let me get that in Psalms 83. Like I said, he definitely read the Bible. He knew what he was doing. Go ahead.
This is Psalms 83 and 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thy who?
Thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel.
What have they done?
They have taken crafty counsel.
That's what they did when Willie Lynch got it. He got together with all the rest of the slave owners, right? And he said, yo, I have a divine plan that's going to keep these niggas in check, right?
Okay.
Keep going.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
And that's what he did when he got this program together, how to keep us in this condition. That's the same thing they did way back in the day. There's nothing new under the sun. Keep going on that. What verse you at?
I'm at verse 4.
Okay.
They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel.
Of who?
Of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
And that's exactly what Willie Lynch did when he read that chapter again.
Point one from the top. According to legend, a group of slave owners in Virginia heard of Lynch's master plan. Master plan. To keep slaves enslaved both physically and mentally. And in 1712, asked him to travel to their state to give them an outline of the scheme. Right. It's just crazy that, you know, this is a master plan with, like we just read in Psalm 83, a master plan to keep slaves mentally and physically enslaved. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you know, we're not physically in chains, but mentally we just docile and, you know, content with the conditions that we live in. You know, we always want to march and, you know, black pride, black power, you know, we march on the street, but, you know, that's what they want us to do because they've broken us mentally. They got chains on us mentally.
And that was all part of the plan as well. When they all got together in Psalms 83, they devised the plan that literally worked for them in that time frame. And that's the same thing they did when they gathered together all of the slave owners, bro. And it's working to this day. You can see it, and we're gonna get to it as we keep going. Go to the next page. All right, let's get to it. I'll go ahead, King.
Psalm 83 and Psalm 73 and 3 in the GNT. Right. It says, God is indeed good to Israel, to those who have pure hearts. But I had nearly lost confidence. My faith was almost gone, because I was jealous of the proud when I saw that things go well for the wicked. They do not suffer pain. They are strong and healthy. They do not suffer as other people do. They do not have the troubles that others have. And, you know, that just goes with that Psalm 83. They have made a conglomerate against us. And you can see that they're prospering so much better than we are. But we so content on trying to be envious of them and what they got. But they stole everything.
They stole everything.
They keep putting us in a docile and, you know, slow state. And so they can benefit their communities, benefit and prosper for them. So,
because we keep buying into the desire to want to be like them.
Exactly.
That's the only reason they winning, bro. Like they just had the NFL draft, man. If we would just stop wanting to be a part of this stuff, this whole thing would fall apart. That's why the scriptures say, envy not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways. But again, this Willie Lynch letter was all part of it. They made us hate ourselves, but love them. And this is gonna get to that. Give me point 2.
All right, point 2 right here. As
that whole thing.
I got you. As our boat sailed south of the James River, named for our illustrious king, whose version of the Bible we cherish.
Whose what?
Whose version of the Bible we cherish.
So this right here is going into, they read the Bible, but they have their own version of it. Look at, praise the Lord, the AC just came on. Wow. Won't he do it? So what he did is they read the Bible, but they had their own version of the Bible. Where do you see that at? Give me that in 1 Maccabees 3 and 48.
3:48. Okay. This is 1 Maccabees 3 and 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen.
The what?
The heathen.
Willie Lynch is what?
The heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their image.
Of what?
Of their image.
Of their image. They read our book and they said, yo, man, this is us, man. This is us. We about to get in white Jesus and we about to take over, bro. That's exactly what he just said. Read that from the top.
Right. As our boat sailed south of the James River, named for our illustrious king, whose version of the Bible we cherish.
Whose version of the Bible they cherish. Not the truth of the scriptures. Because they knew that they was oppressing the children of God. Exactly. They had to do this. Let's just jump down to point 3.
And even on that point, it says south of the James River for our illustrious king. That ain't even their king. King James was Swarthy. King James was a black man.
Right.
The only reason they cherish the version that he had is because he was what you would call today, quote unquote, Christian.
Yes, sir.
You see things like Easter in their version. You see mistranslations because you know why? Because now we can be like, all right, we can get these niggas in line because they can't refute because they don't know.
They don't
know them.
Exactly. And just think like when this was out, we couldn't even read. It was illegal for us to even read the Bible. So they knew exactly what they was doing. All right, let's do point 3.
Point 3. In my bag here, I have a foolproof method. Foolproof method.
Say that one more time.
In my bag here, I have a foolproof method.
A foolproof method on to do what?
For controlling your black slaves.
Wow. Let me get that in Exodus 1 and 11. Because like I said, this is the same thing that the Romans did, the Egyptians did, the Greeks did, the Babylonians did. They all knew how to oppress the children of God. And that's all Willie Lynch did is read the Bible. And he said, yo, let me see what the Egyptians did. Bring that out.
This is Exodus 1 and 11.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters.
What they do?
They set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
What they what?
With their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities.
And that's exactly what he did. He did this. Now read that from the top again, Ken.
In my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that if installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years.
And he got that from reading the book of Exodus, man. He said, yo, if Pharaoh was able to do it, he built they treacherous cities. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give no pushback until your boy Moses killed one of their ass. Why can't I try the same method? It worked for the Egyptians. We were slaves in Egypt for what, 400 years?
We slaves, well, I mean,
how long we was in Egypt?
Well, we was in Egypt for a very long time, but we wasn't slaves the entire time.
That's true.
Over there, you know what I'm saying? But even then, if you go here, it says you will control the slaves for at the least 300
years.
This was written in the early 1700s.
Early 1700s.
And we're 300 years past that. We're 350 years removed.
Well, we say that this is his method is running like a smooth oil machine. A smooth oil machine, man. This is deep. Keep going.
My method is simple.
Simple method. He said, yo, the method is simple. I read the Bible. I know what to do to these niggas.
Any member of your family or your overseer can use it.
And that's exactly what they did, man. They took that same method that Pharaoh did to us. They applied it. And that's how we know that Willie Lynch definitely read the Bible. Because we wasn't allowed to read it. And all of the wisdom is in the Bible, bro. History just repeats itself because we won't get our shit together.
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun. Go ahead to point 4.
Point 4. I have outlined a number of differences among slaves. See, that's so crafty in itself because you're going to have this master plan. But see, it's so funny that they did that because not every slave could be controlled the same way.
Couldn't. They had to use different things to entice the slave to even want to be in order. That's when they that's when they put us against each other. Let me get that in Deuteronomy 28 and 48, right? Let me get that.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger,
and what?
And in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
And that's exactly what he did, man. That's exactly what he did. He had a perfect plan to keep our black asses right in line. You got something, Chris?
Yeah, man. Hey, and that 48 says a yoke upon thy neck till he has destroyed thee. Once he destroyed and crippled us, he took that yoke off, but that yoke is still on our mind.
Still on our mind to this day, man. To this day, man, we just can't picture our life without the white man involved. We some niggas can't even imagine breathing without the white man right next to him. This when he did this to perfection, and it's only because we stay sinning against the Lord. The Lord let this happen. This is all it is, bro. We kept messing up. So the Lord, he let this damn devil named Willie Lynch do this divine plan that was ultimately devised by the Most High God. Ultimately, is this in 1.4?
Yeah. It says, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes.
And you can see that with the music, bro. Look how they controlling us with the music, bro. They got a divine plan to push out this wicked ass music that's only affecting us, bro. This is like when I say that these guys are so crafty at what they do, and we still won't wake up to it, bro. It's like, when we gonna, like, a lot of us, I won't say a lot, a few of us are realizing what's going on, and we standing back like, no, I don't want to partake in this no more. I don't want nothing that the white man is offering. But a lot of our people is not gonna wake up to that same understanding, because this divine plan that he got is still running to this day. You got some, Priest?
It's I'm trying to find this precept, but it's a precept in Leviticus, because it says, I will use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes, with meaning that he's gonna devise us to be in subjection, fear to them, distrust, meaning that you can only, trust in your master, right? You can't trust these other niggas as you in captive.
So just think about that. Isn't that what they did with the with Planned Parenthood? Yeah. They literally broke up the families, made the woman trust the government before they trust their man. They say, "Nah, you working, you doing good, but I don't trust that you gonna pay me. I'm gonna go put your ass on child support." That plan right there is still working to this day. When you find it, you can bring it out. Yeah, man, this is exactly what's wrong with our people, man. Our people don't want to read stuff like this. They want to scroll on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? They want to get more indulged into the sins of Babylon the Great. They don't want to step away from this for 1 second and say, "Yo, who the hell am I?"
Appreciate it.
Go ahead, King.
Right. This is Jeremiah 2:33, right? You made a good point. You said that they don't want to get away from it. Right. Jeremiah 2:33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
Beautiful precept.
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
So that's exactly what they did. Like, we still seeking love from the heathens, man, and we think that's love. We don't even understand the love that the Most High God got for us, because we still want to seek the love and the acceptance of the other nations. Wild doctrine, man.
And this is that precept, because it says, "I will use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes." This is emphasizing on fear. This is Leviticus 26 and 36 in the CEV. "In the land of your enemies, you will tremble at the rustle of a leaf," meaning that just a leaf sound, the sound of a leaf crushing, you're going to tremble and shake. Why? As though it were a sword, as though if somebody was coming to kill.
Right, because you just think they was scared to leave the plantation, bro. They was always in fear that master would catch them. And all they had to do was make it up north. Imagine that. But they was afraid because of the what?
Because it says, "You will tremble at the rustle of a leaf, as though it were a sword, and you will become so weak that you will stumble and fall over each other, even when no one is chasing you."
Wow.
Right.
That's deep.
And that stumble and tremble over each other is because, that's how it is now. They talk about this crab in the barrel mentality, but who put the crabs in the barrel? A crab in the barrel, a crab at the bottom trying to get to the top.
Right.
But not knowing that when he go in that pot, he getting cooked at the end of the day.
Yo, and that's crazy that you say that, because you said even when he get in that pot, he getting cooked at the end of the day. A lot of our people want to assemble themselves with America so bad, but you're really cooking yourself at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Precept 2 to go into what the brother brought up. Right. And this is in Deuteronomy 28 as well. Right. It says, Deuteronomy 28 and 28, "The Lord will smite thee with madness and blindness in astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noondays as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee." Right. But the emphasis on the Lord shall smite thee with madness, right, and blindness and astonishment of heart. That's that same fear.
Exactly to that fear.
That same fear.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Go ahead, God.
This is point 5, right? "On top of my list," so this is ahead of his list, this whole plot he got. It's so funny. It says, "On top of my list is age."
His age. And you can see that, like, that's deep right there. Let me get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 37.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 37. "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee."
Now, I read that a little bit too fast. I want you to finish that, because that's what it was going into. Hold on. Before you read that, the reason he put the age at the top is that he said a difference between the young and old. He literally he made it seem like we didn't respect our elders anymore. Our elders was looked at as nothing, and he raised up the new slaves because they was gonna follow him. That's what he did. We didn't have no respect for our elder no more because he already castrated us.
Precept for that too, Ken.
Go ahead, Ken.
Right. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
To the what?
To the young.
So they didn't give a damn about our elders. They said, these ain't y'all elders no more. We gonna make them look like nothing. Y'all gonna respect us. That's what they did when he put the age at the top of the list. Now keep reading that, King.
Right. But there's only because it starts with an A. The second is color.
Is what?
The second is color.
So then it went into classism. Now give me that in Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Because now he like, yo, we gonna make a difference between the light skin. We're gonna make a difference between the one with nice hair, the one that's a little bit darker, fair skin. We're gonna let them be in the house. All of this is stuff that they got out of the Bible. Bring that out, King.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations.
A byword. That byword was when they called us niggas, color boy. I mean, we didn't have no damn name. We ain't have no name. Our name was nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Your name is Toby.
That's it. They literally called us a damn color, black boy. I don't even think they called us black.
No, they called it color.
Color, right. Color. That's wild.
Negro.
You got something?
Yeah. This is going on with that point that he pulled out. What's going on here?
I got a precept for you as well.
Yeah, man, I know the precepts are just coming, right? Because this guy's the goddamn devil, bro. And you can just, I was just telling somebody the other day, it's so beautiful that now when you read the Bible, you can literally see it playing out in front of you. That's how you know that it's so true. You know what I'm saying? When you can literally have a random conversation and precepts just come into your head. Go ahead, get your precept out.
What the brother was saying, right? When you talked about how they would separate us into classes by light skin, dark skin, different hair textures, different hair types. This is Jeremiah 12 and 9. My heritage is unto me is a speckled bird, right? And birds round about are against her. Come ye assemble all the beasts of the fields, come to devour. Right, but we can see how easy it was for them to separate us by these different things because Israel is a speckled bird, right, with many different characteristics and many different physical features, right, that make us a non-homogeneous nation.
But we always been like that. They the ones that put us against each other. We always been like that. Exactly. It's a precept that says about when it talks about the northern kingdom. It's like what is that?
Hosea 8.
Hosea 8.
Yeah, get Hosea 8. It should be 8 and 9.
Because we always been like that. They said let's use something that's always been and use it against them.
Hosea 8 and 9, you said?
It should be Ephraim is like a cake unturned.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah. But they took that and they used it against us. Now we looking at
I got it right.
You got it? Go ahead.
Hosea 7 and 8. Ephraim is a term used for the northern kingdom, right? Have mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. So a cake not turned, it's two-sided. You got the lighter shade and you got the darker shade. We all, and that not only is talking about northern kingdom, but southern kingdom as well. Because they make jokes about, what's her name? Rashida Jones. Rashida Jones pops black, but she looks like a white passing woman.
Yeah.
But she's still our people because she has a seed line coming from Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
Yeah, but these devils, they knew that, but they said, son, let's use that against them. Well, we always lived amongst each other with different shades of brown, but they used it against us. But how was they able to do that? Because we refused to hearken to the Lord, bro. This is the only reason that this Bible was able to be played out over and over and over again. Every captivity that we went in, they used the same goddamn methods, bro. Every last one.
Exactly.
You got something, Bruce?
Yeah, I got one last piece. Psalm 44 and 13 in the TPT. You have caused our neighbors to despise and scorn us. All those around us mock and curse us. 14. You have made us the butt of their jokes, meaning the word you was using the power words and bywords.
Right.
That's you're making mockery and jokes of somebody. Disliked by all, We are the laughingstock of the people. There's no escape from this constant curse, this humiliation. And that's so cold because people think that, they can escape these curses, but Deuteronomy 28 says these curses are going to follow you everywhere.
That everywhere.
It don't matter where you go at in this world.
Yeah.
You are going to be under these curses.
Yeah.
So many niggas talking about, so I'm going to go move X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, whatever.
You can, but
it's going to follow you.
It's going to follow you. It's like you go to Zechariah 6 talking about the horses, the 4 horses, death follow, like Esau, death followed him.
Everywhere. Everywhere. And he's the wicked. He can't run away from it. What you think that we can do? Being the children of the Lord. We literally the apple of his eye. You think he ain't watching us? Man, you can go to Zimbabwe. You still gonna be looked at as, who that nigga? You got something? You good? All right, let's get point 6.
Point 6. The black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination,
and then but you would talk to a Christian and they would swear that they not indoctrinated, bro. They don't understand that they still living off of the indoctrination that this bastard put together. The Christian church is nothing but a goddamn, what's the word I want to use, man?
A damn facade.
It's so many words pop into my head, man, but our people are caught up into this matrix.
It's a cesspool of just degeneracy. It's just dumb shit. It's literally like it's like you got your hand on the stove, you know it's burning, but you
won't take it off.
I won't take it off the stove.
Man.
Like,
wow. You gotta read that top part again.
Read it again, yeah. The black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on, and it says the black slaves. That point right there, because they already did it to our brothers, the Northern Kingdom.
They already did it
to them.
Right. They already shipped their ass off to Spain.
Right.
They already calling themselves. They know at this time they Catholics like a mug.
Yeah, they all damn near are.
They all damn near already like lost in the sauce. By the time Judah come over here, the Northern Kingdom are whitewashed completely.
Exactly.
Completely. They didn't already bow down to the white whatever you want to call him, the white devil.
The white man.
Let me get I'm gonna let you finish that, but let me get Deuteronomy 28 and 54. Keep going. Hold on.
All right. After receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-fueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, meaning that they're going to just continue to follow after this indoctrination. We don't even have to do nothing no more.
No.
They're going to do it themselves, right? Maybe, it says hundreds of years, maybe thousands.
Wow. There's a precept coming to mind where it says, is that in Jeremiah? I can't even think of it. It'll come to me. Keep going.
Don't forget, you must pitch the old black male versus the young black male. Old niggas versus young niggas. Right. You see that today. Older brothers want to sit there and, oh, you young niggas don't know what y'all doing. See, back in my day, young niggas not respecting the elders be like, man, the hell with you,
right? Right. You can't tell me nothing.
Can't tell me nothing.
This our era.
Exactly. This my your time is done for. Right. And then also it says, and the young black male, old black. Oh yeah, it just says the young black male against the old black male, just swapping the roles, right? You must use the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves, and the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. That colorism, because we don't talk about it a whole lot. A lot of people don't talk about it, but not only is dark-skinned people in our community, or darker-skinned people in our community are being marginalized and not cared for, but it's a lot of light skin. It's a lot of light people,
right,
that are getting that same,
the same thing. But they get more hate from the white man because they like, nigga, you want to be like us. You trying to fit in because now you don't know. Do I go kick it with the niggas or do I try to fit in with the white people? They more lost in the sauce if you ask me. Exactly. Give me that precept I had you heard.
God, that 54.
54.
God, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
We was very delicate to each other before we came over here.
Right.
We respected our elders.
Right.
That was our culture. The Bible said that Israel, we're peaceable people. Right. So you think we didn't respect our elders? Keep going.
His eyes shall be evil.
What was it?
His eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
And that's exactly what he did right there. That's what, like I said, bro, he read the scriptures. He said, yo, God already said that this is what they're going to go through. Let's just go ahead and apply the shit.
Exactly.
That's all he did, Simona.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
And that's exactly what happened, man. He put the the light skin against the dark skin, the man against the woman, the kids against the parents. And it's running like that, like a smooth oil machine till this day.
Exactly. It's so cold that you read that precept. The Lord, so the Lord is such a mastermind because he's saying that you're gonna not like your brother, you're not gonna like your wife, your kids, and then that's gonna cause you to leave.
That's going wow.
Because niggas is not just getting up and leaving their kids for no reason.
For no reason, because you dealing with a woman that don't respect you. Right. She don't appreciate shit you do. Your kids is out of order. Now you're like, man, what the fuck I gotta go home for? I'm gonna just go find another woman.
And that precept come to mind when Haushai quotes, the enemies of your household. Your enemies is the women, the people in your household, your kids and your wife, man. Because when you a man coming into this walk, because most brothers, our brothers is gonna wake up to this truth. It's less brothers than it is women. That's the whole playing field of this entire planet. There's more women for a reason than men, because women is not gonna submit and get down. Most women not gonna do that. So that's why when you coming into this truth and you got a family, man, sometimes your family don't want to get down. Yeah. But it goes back to being indoctrinated. And also, if you read this last point, you must use the female versus the male and the male versus female. And we always, we get on those sisters, but it's a lot of niggas that just don't get how to engage and try to teach women something.
Right, and it's crazy.
You gotta bring them out of that. You gotta bring them from being out of survival mode.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why we would just give you your flowers, bro, because that's rare to see that a brother actually got his house in order like that. You know what I'm saying? Because usually the woman just in it for the hair wraps, just in it for the long dresses. You know what I mean? To see a sister that's really in it because she really want to serve Yahweh, it's a beautiful thing, man. You got down point 7?
Yeah, point 7. It is a common custom in the part of Maryland from which I ran away.
Hold on. Now let's go back. Give you some context. So this right here. So we finished with the Willie Lynch letter, right? We pray y'all understand that this bastard definitely read the Bible and he knew how to afflict the children of Israel. Now we're about to go into the second part of it, which is from Frederick Douglass, which was a slave, and he's giving his testimony on what he went through on the plantation.
Excerpt from the narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass, an American slave, by Frederick Douglass. So this is him giving an excerpt on his life. This is his firsthand. This is a first-hand witness to what he went through.
His testimony. Right.
It is a point 7. It is a common custom in the part of Maryland which I ran away to part children from their mothers at a very early age.
Where do you read that at? You can read that in Deuteronomy 28 and 32. Let me get that.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Unto who?
Unto another people. And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
And you can see that happening till this day, bro. You literally got kids that are missing. They like from the hospital missing, bro. They go CPS come to their house. The mother must have probably had too many drinks that day. They take the kid. They say, we're going to hold the baby for a while. Next thing you know, you can't get your child back. You don't know where they at. Now you got to go through the courts, pay all this money just to find out that your kid is probably dead somewhere or probably getting molested by a goddamn heathen.
Because most of the time there's more abuse in those foster homes.
Way more abuse in foster homes, bro. I hear it all the time. Babaka Shah, can you just read that part again?
Yeah, I got you. It is a common custom in the part of Maryland which I ran away to part children from their mothers.
To do what?
Part children from their mothers at a very early age. And it's so called that part children from their mothers, their father ain't on.
The father ain't even around. Because where the father at? He probably a mandingo fighting for their ass. He probably working his ass off. So they got full access to the women.
And that's another so like that's another thing, right? Because they had plantations that were specifically for breeding, right? And so they would have a male slave, right? And he would just breed with all the women. They would force him to have sex with all the women, right? Just so they could continue having more slaves. They would just have babies, right? So the father wasn't around.
He had no say so.
He was literally just there to breed, and then they would remove him.
Yeah.
Right.
As soon as he got done, all right, send him to Johnson Plantation,
Right.
2 miles up.
That's why to this day you will run into somebody on the street. You're like, man, you look just like my cousin. You know what I'm saying? How do you think that happened, bro?
Exactly. And that's where we coming from. Because, my grandfather, he had damn 17 kids, man.
Wow.
Man.
My grandfather had like 15, 17 kids, man.
You know, and I think that when I hear this, it makes me think how Christ said that we are adulterous generation. Because literally, man, it sounds gross, but some people is probably with their damn family members to this day.
Right. And then one more thing, Salakia. I'll be remiss if I didn't add our Northern Kingdom brothers, right? Because they did the same thing with Gad and other Northern Kingdom, right? They had in the Americas specifically, they had simulation schools.
Yes.
So where they would simulate them into American culture. And the founder of these practices, he was quoted as to say that in order to save the man, they had to kill the Indian, right? And by doing that, what they would do is they would cut off any sense of their culture, their language, right? Their fringes, their clothes, their hair, right? Their hair, right? They would dress them like white men, put them in suits. They would cut their hair like white men, all right? And then a lot of them were really just murdered. They use these assimilation schools to further their genocide versus those nations.
And you know the great thing about it, majority of the people in these schools, their parents was already dead. They had already killed off the elders. All they had was the children. They said, yo, we're going to raise them up to be exactly what we want them to be. That's why to this day, you would see a Native American. First of all, you'll be shocked that you see one. And then when you see one, his head is so far up the white man's ass. Oh my goodness, man. Because that's all they know. That's all they know. Finish that out, Kim.
Frequently, before the child has reached his 12th month, not even a year old, its mother is taken from it. So they take the mother from the baby and hide out on some farm at a considerable distance off. So they taking the mama. By the time that baby 1 year old, taking the mama, taking them down to another plantation, right? And the child is placed under the care of an old woman. So now you got grandma and them taking care of the baby.
And that's the same thing that's happening to this day, bro. Like, where do you think this come from? Where a woman will have a child, the baby daddy gone, but the mama is actually taking care of the damn baby. This is the same shit happening until this day, bro. Why do you think women is so confident to have a baby and leave the baby daddy? Because they know that their mama is gonna take care of it. The auntie might help out. Anything not to be in order. Where they get that from?
They get it
plantation. Shit is just embedded in our DNA to just be wicked.
Right? It says, so the mom's is at a considerable distance off. The child is placed under the care of an old woman, too old for field labor. Because, when women get that 60, 55, 60, they too old to work. So now they don't be elders of the plantation, right? For what is this separation is done, I do not know, unless it be to hinder the development of the child's affection toward his mother. They don't have the affection toward their mother because they never had them. So now, later in life, they see a mom.
That's where they got this whole idea of Big Mama from. Where do you think that came from? They looked at grandma. It was way closer to the children because mama out there working. That's literally to this day you see that shit.
I went through that. Unfortunately, I had my mom. Shout out to moms. My mom still, help out to this day. But
praise the Lord.
My grandmother, she was the rock because she didn't work. House paid for, all that shit. So I'd be at grandma's house. Mom birthed me, grandma raised me.
Let's read that verse one more time, just to bring context to everything we just read.
This was
28 and 32.
All right, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
And we had no control of these things. Literally had no. They literally took the baby before it was even 12 months. It's wild doctrine, man. Let's get to another point.
Yeah. and to blunt and destroy the natural affection of the mother for the child. Mom, you see it nowadays, even woman gonna take the baby to the grandma, but she don't really give a damn about the baby. She just got the baby because she was with an ancient nigga that got her pregnant. Didn't even know. It's funny though, because I'm 23. In my generation, women will get pregnant before they even know who the nigga is. Nigga could be DL. Nigga could be DL's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Excuse my French.
Yeah.
The motherfucker could be DL. And then she don't know. Now she got a baby by somebody they didn't want to have a baby with.
Bro, trust me, bro. I meet women all the time, bro. They would be so quick to hop in your whip, hop in your house, hop on anything you got going on. But they don't even want to talk about the trauma they've been through as a child. They don't want to share nothing that can actually be sufficient to build a foundation with. But they quick to open up their legs, man. This ain't nothing new under the sun. Right. Go ahead.
Point 10. Death soon ended what little we could have while she lived, and with it, her hardships and suffering. She died when I was about 7 years old.
So this is going into how he never knew his mother, because remember they took him when he was a young boy. So when his mother died, he didn't even feel it, man.
Right.
He wasn't attached to her. No, that remind me of. Let me get Deuteronomy 28:16.
This is Deuteronomy 28:16. Right. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shall be the basket of thy store.
That's all I want on that. His mother was cursed in the field. She literally died in the field. If you keep reading that, but if I can keep reading that.
All right. She died when I was about 7 years old on one of my master's farms.
Where she died?
On one of my master's farms.
And he said we was gonna be cursed in the field. We literally was dying on the plantation. They worked us till we died. And you think that you think that I'm gonna read the Bible and want salvation for every nation? You must be out your rabbit ass mind. Y'all used to work us to death. Literally. And still do. You know how many people are. My mother, I love her, man. I love my mother, but she worked her ass off, and she did just wait until retire. And it's just like, damn, you gotta wait till you're 65 just to start enjoying life. That's literally us working to death. We are cursed in the fields, which is your job. You call that your job today. They give you a little bit of crumbs. We curse. That's not a good paying job. You got something?
Yeah, appreciate it. This is Isaiah 42:22. All right, because we're trapped, right? We're trapped in these jobs. We're trapped in this cycle of financial despair, right? So, but this is a people robbed and spoiled.
What are we?
Robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore.
See, that precept ain't even got to be broke down, man. I'm pretty sure everybody watching this live can relate to that.
Right.
We either got somebody in prison, either been to prison, something. And it's only at a high rate in our community. The Jewish men don't suffer from this, man. I was in Israel prison. That prison is lovely. We had a whole grocery store in there besides ice cream.
Man.
Like everything. It was lovely. If you getting conjugal visits, you chilling. You can wear your own clothes in there. It's so chill. They have rights, nigga. They have rights. You come and talk to these niggas in America. They have zero rights. None.
And they live in intolerable conditions.
Man.
My little brother is locked away in state prison.
Wow.
And he telling me, he showed me pictures about, people tweaking out K2 motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Making packs and shit, motherfuckers, going crazy, insane, you know what I'm saying? All of the shit that goes on because we trying to sit there and survive in there.
Yeah. They curse, man. We curse, man. And it's only our people can relate to this. So I don't want to hear that the Jewish man in Israel can relate to this. He can't relate to a damn thing in this Bible. But everybody's so quick to say, oh, the white man. Nah, we ain't doing that over here, man. Some on that?
Near Lee's Mill, I was not allowed to be present during her illness, at her death or burial. So he wasn't even able to see her before she died or go to her funeral. Right?
Mm-hmm.
She was gone long. She was gone long before I knew anything about it. So she had already been dead a long time
before he even heard about it. And let's not even mention, see, y'all gonna have to go back and read this whole book. If y'all haven't, shame on y'all. But it was a rumor that that's why people say he was a white man, Frank Douglas, because he didn't know who his father was. It was a rumor that it could have been the slave owner that was his father.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But according to these damn curses, I'm pretty sure that brother was an Israelite.
He more likely Jake, because even when you look at the sons of the slave masters that they had with the slave woman, they would be treated a way better than
just a little bit. Yeah, just a little
bit better. He'd at least be able to be in the house. You know, he'll be the taskmaster telling other people what to do.
He definitely would have met his mother.
He had a relationship with his mom.
Yeah, he would have had a relationship with his mom.
And then even sometimes too, it's cases where, you know, the slave master had a baby. If that baby light enough, hey, have his wife raise him. And that woman ain't never gonna sit there and raise that baby. You know what I'm saying?
That was in some cases, because some of them motherfuckers was just evil as hell.
Right. Some of them go out in that field.
Right. They treat their own child worse than, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Worse than a slave that they like. And they had know like that's my seed, but fuck that.
Exactly. She was long gone before I knew anything about it. Never having enjoyed to any considerable extent her soothing presence.
Wow.
Her tender and watchful care.
Wow.
I received the tidings of her death with much the same emotions I should probably felt at the death of a stranger.
He can't even cry for his own mama because he barely knew her.
Right.
That's deep, man. Let's get through this. Let me get the other point.
You know, and it's so crazy because it says that just proves how we the Israelites. It says her soothing presence, her tender and watchful care. You know,
because that's what the mother wives was back in Egypt. I mean, they like, man, we ain't killing these damn babies.
We saving these babies.
We are saving these babies.
Killing these babies.
Not killing nothing.
All right. Yeah, next point. Every year brings with it multitudes of this class of slaves. So every year they're raising up the same kind of slaves that they want. You know, it was doubtless in consequence of a knowledge of this fact that one great statesman of the South predicted the downfall of slavery by the inevitable laws of population.
Let me get Genesis 9 and 22.
Come. This is Genesis 9 and 22.
We're going to read it to 27.
Come. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, cursed be Canaan.
What?
Cursed be Canaan.
So they tried to use this right here and say that we are the Canaanites, and they was justified for doing this because God said, cursed be Canaan. Imagine that. I told you they read the Bible.
Right. Not even, that shows they don't have no wisdom because they don't even know what that's about.
They have no idea what that's about.
Right.
I want you to finish that.
I got you. Whether this prophecy is ever fulfilled or not, they don't even know if the prophecy is fulfilled or not. They just justify, oh, they're black.
Right.
Ham's black. Okay, these niggas is black. We're just gonna make it about them.
Right.
Right. It is nevertheless plain that a very different looking class of people are springing up at the South and are now held in slavery from those originally brought to this country from Africa. And if their increase do no other good, it will do away the force of the argument that God cursed Ham.
God did what?
God cursed Ham. You didn't curse Ham, you cursed Canaan.
Stupid as hell, man. This is what I'm saying. Like, that's why the scriptures say, what do you have to do with me? like y'all don't have nothing to do with these records of ours, but y'all want to come and twist something up and justify y'all treating us a certain type of way because now we Hamites.
Exactly. and therefore American slavery is right. Oh, God cursed Ham, so yeah, we put y'all in slavery.
Oh my goodness, boy. The goddamn devils, man. That was it on that though, right? Yeah, that's all I want on that. Let's get to the point.
If the lineal descendants of Ham are alone to be scripturally enslaved, it is certain that slavery at the South must soon become unscriptural, for thousands are ushered into the world annually who, like myself, owe their existence to white fathers, and those fathers who most frequently their own masters. So he's speaking from his experience, but like you said, Frederick Douglass going through all these things, he's more than likely Jake.
More than likely Jake, bro.
He was probably told that his father was white.
That's why a lot of Spaniards, like a lot of Hispanics over here, they think that they're white. Exactly. Because they was told that the conquistadors came and raped y'all and y'all got, what's the word I'm looking for? Y'all got whiter over time because y'all really like us. Man, get the hell out of here, man.
That shit, even that's dumb because like if you ever like really think about it, when you look at just the dealings of how Esau dealt with our people, you know, it's not many cases where like, you know, a rape or a sexual encounter ended in the baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And let's be real, our people really don't fuck with them like that. You will hardly really see, even down south, you hardly ever see a sister with a white man.
Yeah. When you do see it, I'll be like, you nasty. Yes.
And more likely too, if you see a sister with a white man that got babies with him and all that, either she's really brainwashed or she's a terror.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Real sisters ain't getting down.
They're not checking for them.
They're not getting down.
They're not checking for them. They're not doing that, bro. And yet alone having a baby by them.
Exactly.
You rarely see that. So to make a disclaimer that, man, everybody got white in them because we raped y'all. Man, get the hell out of here, man.
And it's just so crazy, dude, because I went through that in school because I'm one of the lighter people in my family. Like, oh, are you mixed? Because I got like, you know, I have like, you know, better, I have finer hair and whatnot. Are you mixed? You know, I'm like, both my parents black, bro. What are you talking about? Oh, you know, one of your parents. I'm like, bro, you can have two dark-skinned people that make a lighter baby. It's all about genetics. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's get the what's the point two. Right. Yeah, give me that one.
Yeah,
that's one of the biggest lies of white supremacy is that people can be destroyed by means of breeding, right? And in it, the nations, in a sense, have been destroyed because that's one of their arguments. Some of these biblical nations aren't even around anymore, right? Specifically Edom. That's one thing they like to say. Well, Edom is destroyed, so God doesn't hate any people now because Edom is gone.
Wow.
Right, which is not biblical.
Yeah, they're gonna have to prove that.
Quick precept, right? This is Ecclesiastes 4:16. There is no end of all the people.
There's what?
There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this is also is vanity and vexation of spirit. Right, so we're not going to be destroyed by that.
Right.
By the white man.
So what he said basically, like the same thing. Frederick Douglass, he was confused that he thought that they got raped off, and now that the slave owner was actually their father. No, that's not it, bro. That you had a small percentage of that happening, a very small percentage, because you got to think, bro. We were sold to our enemies. I mean, why would you got to think? Why would someone do that to their own seed, bro? I can't see it, man. But no, I can't put nothing past the wicked. But again, it happened at a small percentage. Not like everybody was raped and all of us is white now. The hell out of here, man. Go ahead, Ken.
All right, next point. Master, however, was not a humane slaveholder. It required extraordinary barbarity.
What?
Extraordinary barbarity.
These guys was evil, man. The stuff that they do, you had to be loony in the fucking mind, bro.
Also, get that Hebrews 12 and 16. Because it says the barbarity, just the viciousness, the just.
Right. Who did that remind you of?
Exactly. Who's a damn barbarian?
Right.
The so-called white
The
man.
so-called white man, man. That's
Literally.
beautiful.
They'll type the serious steak for 2 minutes on each side and eat it. How crazy can you be? You know what I'm saying? Get that Hebrews 12 and 16.
This is Hebrews 12 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
Lest there be any fornicator
Right.
or profane person.
A fornicator and profane person. Why are they fornicators? What is fornication? Illicit sex acts, adultery, bestiality, homosexuality, all these type of things. Incest. This how barbaric and damn just cave beastly these people are. Right? Keep going.
Our profane person is Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
And it's so cold that point is brought up because that's how the story played out. But we was already predestinated to have those promises and the blessing before the story played out like that. But we were already predestinated to have those blessings, right? And it's so crazy because damn Edomite would do some dumb shit like that.
Facts.
Man, that damn stool look good. You know what? You know,
man,
even when you look at how they act when they go, like, you know, we like to travel. We go see our people in different countries. You go to Venezuela, you go to Colombia, you go to Peru. You know, our people down there, they want to play top dollar for shit that don't damn cost nothing. It's like y'all are just insane, right? You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
those definitely the what do you call them in that verse?
It's extraordinary. It says acquired extraordinary barbarian.
Barbarian. That's Esau. That's Esau.
Exactly.
Keep going.
On the part of an overseer to affect him, he was a cruel man, hardened by a long life of slaveholding. He would at times seem to take great pleasure in whipping a slave.
That's crazy. Let me get Zechariah 11 and 5.
This is Zechariah 11 and 5. Whose possessors slay them.
What did they do?
Slay them.
He said he had pleasure in whooping our ass. Keep going.
Slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
He didn't give a damn. They used to whoop our ass until you can damn near see the white meat. This nigga took pleasure in doing that. That's the same thing that they did back in the day, bro. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Read that from the top of Akasha.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
That's exactly what he just said over there, isn't it? He took pleasure in doing it, and he didn't give a damn. He said, who gonna save him? You mine, nigga.
You my property.
My property.
Right.
Keep going.
I have often been awakened at the dawn of day by the most heart-rending shrieks of my own aunt of mine.
Wow.
Who he used to tie up to a joist and whip upon her naked back till she was literally covered in blood.
Wow. That's and I'm supposed to have mercy on them.
Right.
Go ahead, King.
Mercy and prayer for
right. I'm supposed to pray for them. The hell out of here.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
And just like he said, what's in him is he just not right. Nothing in him is right. He can't do right even if he wanted to. He can't.
Are you going to question something that was made crooked to make it straight? You can't.
You can't. Keep going.
Right. It says, no words, no tears, no prayers from his gory victim seem to have moved his iron heart from its bloody purpose.
Wow.
The louder she screamed, the harder he whipped. And where the blood ran fastest, there he whipped the longest. He would whip her to make her scream and whip her to make her hush.
Oh, nah, bro. When I read this, bro, burst into tears, bro. I'm like, just hearing this, that this is what they did to our people, and we steady want to kiss their ass. Like, it's like we've forgotten what our ancestors went through, bro. And we just think like, hey man, we free now. No, we not fucking free, bro. We still at war. We're still in the hands of our enemies. And this is all part of the plot. Because when Christ come back, we gonna still be here. And he's gonna be justified for what he's gonna do to them.
All praises.
Very justified. refused us.
Now let's finish this out.
Right. And not until overcome by fatigue would he cease to swing the blood-clotted calcium. So no mercy.
No mercy. Zero.
But see, you know, it's so funny. Our people. Oh, what about the white man? These are people you want to save, really?
Man.
These are people that you want to, you know, you want to defend these people in court. Oh, these white folks, they did it okay, but they're changed now. I don't know where y'all from.
I don't know.
But I'm from South Carolina. Storm Thurmond was he was probably one of the most racist political figures ever in the state of South Carolina. I'm from South Carolina. I'm from a state where they still, all the other states in the South Carolina still wanted to be a part of the Confederacy.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
But they say America's changed, man. It's all one melting pot. Can we all just get along? Hell no. You got something?
No.
Go ahead. Finish that out or we'll get the next point.
Oh, that's it.
All right, let's get to the next point. We're going to be ending it out real soon.
All right. This next point. I was so terrified and horror-stricken at the sight that I hid myself in the closet. I dared not to venture out till long after the bloody transaction was over. I expected it would be my turn next. So that's that fear.
That's that fear again. Let me get Zechariah 2:8.
This is Zechariah 2:8. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye.
So we don't forget, guys. They did all of this, but the Most High God saw everything because they was actually touching the apple of his eye. Yeah, everything that we going through right now, everything that we've been through, and like I said, steady going through to this day, the Most High God ain't forgot because we are the children of Israel. Us so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American, man, woman, and child on this side of the world, we are the Israelites, and we are the apple of his eye. He have not forgot. So it's death to the enemies, death to every nation that's not an Israelite. I give 3 shits. And this is why we make these videos so that our people can wake up out the madness, man. This Willie Lynch letter, this testimony from Frederick Douglass is still happening till this day. Look at what's happening to Shannon Sharp. This all the white girl did is said something, and they ready to lynch this nigga. But our people won't stop. They won't stop trying to wife of goddamn a white woman. Man, go Shannon Sharp. You should go and get you a damn sister.
Exactly.
But our people won't learn because they don't want to read this stuff. Ask him if he read this before.
And Shannon Sharp is from Georgia.
Wow. He know better.
He went to Savannah State.
He know better. Was that it on that?
Just a little bit more.
Go ahead.
All right. I expected it would be my turn next. It was all new to me. I had never seen anything like it before. I had always lived with my grandmother on the outskirts of the plantation. Big Mama, right? And it's how much Big Mama she was. She was where she was put to raise the children of the younger women. So
continue cycle. It's the same thing they did. He gave the mother wives to raise us back in Egypt, right? The same thing they did over here. Let me read that last precept. I had you read that one more time, then we're gonna close out. Give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
This is Zechariah 2:8. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye.
Don't forget, man, we are going to get saved, man. Salvation is coming, but we have to endure into the end. And if you're not doing this, go ahead, bring it up.
Let me read this in NLT. I'm gonna read verse 1 real quick. Ecclesiastes 12:1 in NLT. Don't let the excitement of youth cause you to forget your Creator. Honor him in your youth before you grow old and say, life is not pleasant anymore.
You better do it now before you get to a point where you can't even get down and pray. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 13. Verse 13. Verse 13. NLT. That's the whole story. Here now is my final conclusion. Fear God.
Do what?
Fear God. And obey his commands.
And do what?
And obey his commands. for this is everyone's duty.
This is what?
This is everyone's duty.
I love that.
God will judge us, as verse 14. God will judge us for everything we do, including the very secret thing, whether good or bad.
And that's what it's all about, Israel. Repent, keep the commandments, have faith in who the world called Jesus Christ. I pray y'all was edified. And with that, I want to say, Call Halal, Abana Yahweh, Ba'ashem HaMashiach Yahushua, and Shalom.
Shalom. Come on, guys.
Come on,